HTC presented its new flagship, the U11, and in this video we'll have a closer look. So U11 it is, and of course it reminds you on the U Ultra, and it's because the same design. So not HTC 11, it's called U11. You remember these glass backsides here, very reflective, and we have some different colors here now in that dark blue. We also have a white and something called silver. It's a little bit a bright blue, and coming in August, round about August, a red version of this one here. So remind my words, you have glass on the backside, glass on the surface. It's just that metal frame runs around, so be careful like always with these glass phones, but it looks great, doesn't it? And you remember especially my warnings from the U11, take always your wiper with you because you will have to do all day long. I promise, before I started this video, I swiped everything here, but you already saw some fingerprints on the backside, but like this one, it's beautiful. Of course it is. Something new HTC invented for this one is you have on the middle and the lower, let's call it lower half here, you have sensitive edges. So it's called Edge Sense, meaning if you press here, you will start, at least this is like right out of the box, you start the camera as you see. And let's go to photos, for example, it's a little bit better. And if you press once more, you see here, then you will have a photo. So it's just two presses to take that photo. One to start the camera and one to have the photo. And of course you can edit this feature. Let me unlock this one here to show you where this is. It's called Edge Sense, and we have here it is. You can of course deactivate this whole feature, and you will have at the moment it's just a short starting the camera. A long one is starting Google Assistant, but as we are offline, this is not possible here right now, but you will know the Google Assistant, I guess. And there will come more, for example, a double press, and they will expand the features of Edge Sense during the future. But I wanted to show you especially that you can, of course, adjust manually, like this one, or like this one that you can see, what's a hard press, or you can have this, and this one is when you have the first time started your HTC U11, you will have this one here to just for, oops, I pressed this one here, sorry for that. You just can prove yourself and what's hard and what's not, and how to press and where and if it's working or not. And once you're done, you go here. But nevertheless, you can adjust this one as often as you want to, because if you go too low, it might just be if you grab it out of your pocket and already have pressed it. So I guess something in the middle here would be the best option. Great idea for this one, and there will come more. First of all, I told you can do and start, for example, every app you want to right from the start, but they will follow in the next weeks or month also an additional app. It's called Edge Sense Companion, not Sense Companion, you know this one from the U Ultra, it's Edge Sense Companion. You will get it for free from the Google Store. But if you have this app, you can have kind of, let's call it macro. So you start the app is recording what you're doing, then you, for example, start a app, whatever you want to, set your filters, start a different mode, whatever you want to, and have your macro defined. You end the recording of the macro, and all the time you have pressed it, then will the app do this macro, operating this macro. So you don't have only to start the app, you can do whatever you want to. Good idea. Next thing is, of course, sound. You remember these 7M called M7, M8, M9 with these iconic stereo front speakers. I know it's not only me who love this one, but like on the HTC 10, it's not part of the 11 here anymore. They have one speaker below, that's, let's call it the main speaker here, because the mids and the basses are coming out here very loud. We will have a separate sound check of of course, with the final, this is pre-beta software and hardware. And the second speaker is this one over here for the treble. At least this is a way if you use the music mode, you know, boom sound settings. You can also have theater mode, and in that case you will have kind of stereo, but I call it semi-stereo because you have the different position, the different sounds here. This is darker, this is more brilliant. So it's not real stereo in my opinion, but at least better than nothing, let's call it like that. That was audio. And you also should know there is no headphone jack anymore, like it's on quite some phones these days, unfortunately. But now HTC is putting the adapter in the case, and that's a good thing because, first of all, it's around about $20, and I now know why my cheap ones didn't work on the U Ultra. You remember maybe my warning that you have to use the original adapter here from HTC, and that's because now I've been told the digital audio converting is done not in the phone but in the adapter. That's why they're so expensive, and that's why not working the cheaper ones. So now if you want to have your favorite headphone jacked here, it's possible. You have the adapter and it's working, and it should be a great sound. Let's knock on wood. I will test that out. But you will have in the box also, like on the U Ultra, very same headset, remember. And the point of the U-Sonic was it has an additional microphone built in, so it measures your inner ear, so you have also the best sound you can get for your personal individual ear. That's the first one. And here, for the moment, exclusively on the U11, you will have additional feature on the very same headset, and that's active noise cancellation. So meaning it's now measuring completely all the time and putting the sound that way depending on what you hear in your ear from your surrounding. So better sound. Let's check this with the final device. It's coming, by the way, 1st of June. That's the official first date of when this phone will be sold. Then let's come to the camera. You know, it was always from HTC one of its big advantages, these big pixels called ultra pixels, so meaning really huge. On the HTC 10 it has been 1.55 micrometers. Now it's a little bit tinier, it's 1.4 micrometers now, but that has a reason. I'm coming to this later. On the other hand, they made the the lenses a little bit brighter, now f1.7 instead of f1.8, so coming a little bit more light. And because you have the tinier photodiodes here, the reason is that it's now, they call it ultra speed autofocus. If you know, for example, a Samsung phone, you would call it dual pixel, because it means on the photo sensor you have two diodes, one for the photo, 12 million, and 12 million for the autofocus, doing this now very precisely and especially very quickly. HTC is talking about 0.3 seconds the autofocus is done. So let's wait how this one is. And you will have 4K video recording, of course, but let's look at this one. You have, first thing is that 3D audio, meaning they have built in, like you know that from other HTC phones, 4 microphones, one surround, so you have 3D sound, and you also can have a sound that's depending on what you're focusing. So if you have someone, for example, talking right here in front of you, you want to hear him and not the bunch of guys runs around, always talking here. So this one is set to really focus the thing with the microphones, what you see in your viewer here. Let's see if this really is working. Would be a great thing. And the other thing I wanted to show is it's hard to demonstrate here at the moment, but I can tell you what it's doing, and it's called a HDR boost, not HDR plus, HDR boost, meaning the software is taking 3 shots in HDR mode and then pixel by pixel looking which one is the best. For example, where is grain, where is a little bit not enough brightness, whatever, and pixel by pixel putting together this perfect shot out of these 3s, not by just combining, but really pixel comparison. And that, of course, needs a lot of power. Here inside is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835, the new one. In some countries, like from the Samsung S8 and S8 Plus. Here in Europe, we didn't have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 yet, so this one will be my first, I guess, I will have in the test, and I can't wait, but it shall be very powerful. 8 cores, 2.45 gigahertz, 4 gigabyte of RAM, and when we are at memory, 64 gigabyte of internal expandable memory, of course, and it's just UFS. They don't say it's 2.1 or 2.0, but not the very slow and cheap one, so just UFS, it should be enough for most of you, and expandable, like I told you. You also have that, I don't find a pin here anymore, sorry, I would show you. So here is a hybrid slot, meaning you can have, in first choice is micro SD, but you can alternatively insert a second nano SIM, so you have dual SIM. Of course, it's Android 7.1.1, as you can see. You have 3000 milliamps battery built in. Yeah, might be a little too few for that huge screen. It's now not 5.2, but 5.5 inch or 140 millimeters. We have to see how this one is, because first of all, you have Android 7.1.1 and you have the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 835. So maybe they are not consuming too much power, and that's okay. So the milliamps don't say much anymore about the runtime. So wait for my final review with the first test results from the battery, please. Yeah, and by the way, we have the same resolution like on the HTC 10, meaning 1440 by 2560 pixels, coming to a density of 539 ppi. Nice and sharp still, and especially, yeah, well, HTC is calling this Super LCD, now version 5. I would call it dual domain IPS, but it's really one of the most brilliant IPS or LCD screens I've ever seen, like on the HTC 10 already. You see, it's almost the quality like printed on, great viewing angle, stability. You just see a slight color fault here, but see my angle, it's almost 180 degrees. So it's really huge. It's really great. I love the HTC 10 for its device for its display quality. So I hope it's the same one, and it looks at first look like it would be the same quality here. Yeah, what else do you need to know? I hope I got everything. Last but not least, the price, I'd say. At least here in Germany, Europe, it's 749 euro. That's including 19% tax, but without any submission. So it's right like you buy it here in the stationery or in the internet. It's 749 euro. Prices may vary depending on your country. I will show you, of course, bit more when we have the final product, and of course, like always, the final review as text on my website, mobiwatch.net. I hope to get that at the beginning of June when the selling starts. You will see another video here in my channel. Thanks for viewing this one, and please be so kind to rate this video. Maybe you even leave a sub and your opinion in the comments. Thanks for that in advance. Take care and bye.